social skills, because the fact is, plain and simple, that men who are more outgoing and more charismatic and more confident on dates naturally attract women more. They just do. They're naturally more attractive, and women tend to have more chemistry with them and desire them more. That's just a fact of life. So, you need to do something. Now, another thing too is another mistake that men make is thinking that, you know, just because a woman on a date is more talkative or outgoing or bubbly, or she fills in the silences a lot, that she's having a good time and having fun and that there's chemistry. But no. If women, especially women who are more outgoing and sociable, trust me, they notice when you're being quiet. They notice when you're being a dud. They're just more social, so they naturally fill in the silences more because they feel awkward if they don't, but they want to get out of there as quick as possible. So don't mistake just the fact that a woman's sociable and you're still sitting there like a dud, not making conversation, that she's having fun. She just happens to be more social naturally. So if you're going to be a dud on a date and it's like pulling teeth to have a conversation with you, she's going to be out of there and she's going to be bored out of her mind, okay? So, here's a couple of tips for you though if you want to improve this area of your life and if you actually do want to be more successful with women and change this. Number one, for the fastest change, you can call me, obviously. I will most definitely help you with this and help you fast if you want to improve this area. But in the meantime, here's a couple things you can do. Number one is you want to think of and have a list of topics and questions before the date. You already want to have that list ready to go. So when there's silences or when the conversation seems to be having stops to it, you're ready to pull out those questions and conversation starters out of your butt. And you can do it on command. And they shouldn't be just interview mode conversation starters either. They should actually be interesting and stimulating conversation topics and questions to ask her. So have that ready to go. Number two, in the beginning, when you're first seeing a woman, you want to be seeing her in small increments of time. A lot of shy guys and quiet guys make the mistake of totally overdoing the first couple dates and having like 4 to 6 hour dates and dinner and then movies and all this stuff, overstaying their welcome. And obviously, if you're a quiet and shy guy, 4 hours of being quiet and shy is going to be like torture to the woman, and she's just going to want to get rid of you faster. So you want to actually spend shorter amounts of time with a woman so that she can get to know you and see parts of your personality, but it's smaller and you can build it, and it's going to take a little bit more time for you to come out of your shell too, naturally being more shy, so she can get to know you without there being long silences and awkwardness. And the smaller amounts of time that you spend with her, the less chances there are going to be of lots of silences and awkwardness and staleness. So keep those first couple of dates pretty short and sweet, and hopefully you will leave her wanting more rather than wanting to get rid of you. Alright, a couple more tips is you want to actually set up some double dates. Setting up double dates, especially with a couple that you know that's fun, or a friend of yours that's outgoing, or maybe she has a friend that would like to be set up. A double dates is a great way to counteract the shyness, and you guys can get the conversations flowing. It makes it a lot more fun, and again, the double date will bring out more of your personality and get you more talking. So you guys can have a greater chance of having chemistry and good conversations flowing. Set up a double date. 4, you want to actually set up some fun, interactive dates where you guys can have a chance to, you know, there's more interaction and there's more things to do. So for instance, instead of just dinner, try to set up a date like IndyCar racing or playing pool or playing poker or going bowling, or something like that where there's actual interaction between the two of you, and there's actually, you know, there's activity. And that will also help the conversations from going dry and from there being stale, and can actually create more chemistry when there's something going on. Watching a sporting event too is a great idea, or playing one. And lastly, you want to be on the alert for her social cues and pick up on them, okay? So shy and more introverted guys especially, they tend, not all of them, but they tend to be less clued in to social cues and pick up on them. But you want to make sure you're clued in. For instance, pay attention to especially these cues. Number one, if she's asking you lots of questions. If she's asking you questions, she's interested in getting to know you and she wants the conversation to carry on. She doesn't like the silence and she's trying to create more chemistry with you. That's what's going on. So actually answer the questions and elaborate. Tell stories. Elaborate your stories. Do something, but don't just let the conversation fall flat every time. Throw her stuff to feed off of too, you know. A lot of guys just, you know, they laugh and then, or they say one-word answers, and then that's it, and the conversation just keeps on falling flat, it keeps dropping. If she's asking you questions, she's trying to get that conversation going. So talk, okay? Don't let the conversation just fall flat. Number 2, be on the lookout when she's teasing you or making jokes. If she's trying to tease you and make jokes, she's trying to create chemistry with you. She's trying to see if there's some more sexual tension with you two, because when you tease and when you banter back and forth, that is a key to creating attraction and chemistry and spark. So notice when she's teasing you and tease her right back. Feed off of her jokes. Keep them going. Okay, if you just let the conversation fall flat, or you just say haha and then just let it go flat, it's not going to go anywhere, and she's going to keep on feeling like, oh my god, this guy is so boring, there's no chemistry, Jesus. Okay, so notice when she's teasing you, tease right back. Keep the jokes coming. Feed off of them. And number 3, notice when she is touching you. Yes, when she's touching you, she's trying to see if there's any sexual chemistry going on. She's trying to bond with you physically, okay? And she's trying to break that barrier, that comfort barrier between you two. So a lot of guys who are shy and quiet, they also tend to be not very comfortable with the touchy-feely stuff. And they tend to be kind of stiff and awkward. And guess what? Women can sense that, and it makes us stiff and awkward and uncomfortable. We don't want to do that. So most women will try to break that as soon as possible. They're wanting to escalate it, and they're wanting to see if something's there. And the only way they could do that, they feel, is by getting closer to you physically and establishing that touching between the two of you guys. If you find a woman touching you, that's usually her way of saying, hey, I'm trying to escalate this. I'm trying to get closer with you, so touch me and let's get over this awkwardness. Let's bond. Let's be comfortable with each other, okay? So touch her right back. Do not be stiff and awkward. Don't be all against the touchy-feely. Touch her back. Touch playfully, touch subtly, but find ways to touch her so that she feels more comfortable with you. Because the more you touch her and the more comfortable you are with both touch and with her, the more comfortable she is going to feel around you. And the more attraction that's actually going to be created, okay? If there's none of that, no touchy-feely, if there's no banter back and forth, there's no playfulness and stimulating conversations, she's going to go home thinking, God, that guy was such a nice guy, but